Hi everyone, welcome to the Citizen channel and the match report of the game against West Ham on the 28th of November 2021. Manchester City 2, West Ham 1. Oh, it would be nice to keep a clean sheet, wouldn't it? But we'll have a chat about that later. I'm not very happy we didn't keep a clean sheet, to be honest with you. A 2 p.m. kickoff, of course, at the Etihad. Interesting conditions on the day. We were promised sunshine, but it never sort of come, did it, till a bit later on when it sort of was getting dark. But I'm recording this just about an hour after getting home. So let's see what we've got here. Let's see what I've wrote down here. City lineup. Here we go. Yeah, I got 10 right. So that wasn't bad, was it, guys? 10. And I did have Foden in because I thought Foden might be fit. So really, it was almost 11, wasn't it? So I was quite happy with that. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodrigo, Gundogan, Bernardo, Sterling, Jesus and Mahrez. Interesting, yeah, not the greatest bench, was it? Right, so I'll have a quick word on that later on. West Ham, I got 10 of theirs right as well. So, yeah, just got one of their guys wrong. Fabianski, Johnson, Dawson, Zuma, Cresswell, Masuaku. I didn't have him in. I had that lad who came on. Bowen, is it? Yeah, I had Bowen in. He did appear, didn't he? So, not bad. Rice, Souček, Fornals, Benrahma and Antonio. And Michael Oliver was in charge, doing his usual rubbish. And we had Jared. Excuse me, guys, just a sore throat from the game. Just a word, West Ham fans, you're all right today. Probably the best we've had come to the Etihad this season for making a noise, but that doesn't say much based on everyone else that's come so far. But yeah, well done, guys. VAR, Jared Gillett, or Gillett if you common like me. Yeah, the match report before Gundogan puts ahead on 33 minutes. I think Laporte had one off the back of his head, didn't he, that sort of glanced the post. And we had an offside goal struck out, was it, when Mahrez was struck out? And please forgive me for getting the order of these wrong or anything like that, but obviously I have to rush this together after the match. And of course, he took it well. He took it really well. I was a bit disappointed that was ruled out. It was a bit of we didn't really know why it had been ruled out. Certainly not at the ground. We never get to find that out. That's a problem. We don't really know what happened. Assume that someone was offside, but we obviously didn't know in the ground. And of course, the goal, when it did come, it wasn't up to then. The first 30 minutes, City sort of started to cope very well with the conditions as the snow started pouring down. Of course, it took me back to the old Bally on Ice. That one, but not quite the same scoreline, not against the same team, but. Yeah, another word on that in a moment. The goal came from a great ball for a cross, and I thought it was Rodri at first, but I've just had a look back, and it was Cancelo, of course, and Mahrez jinked him. And his shot took a slight deflection and ended up the Gundalorian. He's back in it. I had him on my charity bet this week, guys. So there you are, money for the charity. Thank you, Gundalorian. I had him as anytime goal scorer, so that'll do. That'll do nicely. Yeah, a little flick, wasn't it? Not a back heel, but a little flick with the cross of his legs. So yeah, sort of goal I used to score that. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, so there you go. Great goal. And with the snow sticking, yeah, it looks the ball was still rolling okay, so that wasn't too bad. We were beginning to panic that it might be called off this game, but we didn't know about our men of the match, did we? The old groundsman at half time. But again, we'll chat on that. We'll have a mention that in a bit as well. With the snow sticking, Jesus had a great chance, didn't he? You could barely see it on the camera. I mean, we got a good view of it. It was at our end, but cleared off the line. And Mahrez had a great opportunity. Yeah, Cancelo sent in a shot. And he went out to Mahrez, and instead of squaring it, he tried to score and hit the post again. A bit greedy there, but we know Mahrez does that. He's very good at being a little bit greedy there, so it's a bit disappointing. It could have been 2-0 at half time. In all fairness, it could have been 2 or 3-0. West Ham, as an attacking force, were pretty void of ideas that first half. They were very, very poor. For a team fourth in the league, I was a little bit disappointed, happily disappointed. I don't mind the rubbish. I don't mind it. So. Yeah, at least in the second half, they brought out a sort of save from Edison. I thought he could have probably caught it. He's quite good at catching. He doesn't like punching, does he? But he sort of punched it in front of him from a long-range Rice effort. Yeah, but again, chances for West Ham were few and far between. I thought Jesus had scored. I thought he'd scored a goal, but he sort of denounced. I think it hit Fabianski, then hit Jesus, and then Cresswell bravely stuck his body and hit the post, didn't he? I think it was up the other end, so we didn't get a good view of it. But yeah, a good save. I thought we might have stuck that in, but yeah, it wasn't from without looking back at the match or watching the match in full again or whatever. There wasn't that much in the second half, was there? A couple of Fabianski saves, but that was about it. But of course, it was the 90th. 2 goals in the last 4 minutes, if you like. In the 90th minute, some nice interplay down the left-hand side led to Jesus, of course, just putting it back to Ferner, who've come on as sub, obviously, previously, to sort of tie up the game. Yeah, you could tell Pep just was, it was 85 minutes or something like that. He just wanted to make sure we didn't do anything stupid. And even though it didn't look like it, West Ham, I said, there's always a chance, wasn't there? Because they do have talent, even though we didn't see a lot of it today. They didn't really cope with the conditions, I don't think, too well today. But hey, that's an excuse, isn't it? Because City sort of coped with it very, very well. And I say in the 90th, Jesus passed it back to Fern, who slotted home from about 12 yards out to kill the game. Fabianski, no chance at 2-0. I do say kill the game because really we shouldn't have let them score. I did notice Fern. I mean, I know he scored the goal, but he made twice he lost the ball in crucial areas for City, to be honest with you. The first time we got away with it, but the second time he just tried to be too clever and lost the ball. And of course, it was a fantastic goal. From outside the box by Lanzini, wasn't it? I think it was Lanzini scored it, and poor Ed. I felt so sorry for Edison, but I do feel sorry a bit for City because let's face it, we're a bit behind Chelsea and Liverpool. If this is going to be a tight season, we could do with making sure we're in shooting distance, pardon the pun, with goal difference. So I was very disappointed on that score, guys. I don't know how you feel about it, but I say it's a long way to go, and it's a bit. But we have been there, haven't we, on goal difference, and it's unusual for City not to be dominated on goal difference as well. So it would have been nice to see a 2-0, not just for Edison, but for the team and goal difference as well. Key stats, shots was 19 by City, 9 on target. Excellent work by City. 5 by West Ham, 3 on target. That's not bad. Possession, 69% for City. Pass completion rate, excellent. I mean, the conditions, there's about a 10-minute spell before half-time where the snow was coming down and the football was sublime by City. The passing, the way we played it around the pitch was absolutely fantastic. And it wasn't just negative passing on between the back 3 or 4. It was constructive. We didn't lead to a goal as such, but after it was we could have had 1 or 2 goals. That's the thing. It was superb play by City, I thought, with the conditions worsening, obviously, and with 90% pass completion in those conditions was absolutely brilliant. And a word for the groundsman before I forget, absolutely great job at half time. They did extend the half time break by 5 minutes to allow them to finish off clearing the pitch, but great work by the groundsman. Well done, lads. I think Pep applauded him while he's being interviewed after the match as well. On to the ratings, yeah. Stuart Brennan's in charge of the ratings. I've started with a 6.5. I know usually if it's a good City win, I give them a 7, start with a 7. But I started with a 6.5 today. It was okay, but I say again, I was not as bad as Everton, but again, I was not overly impressed with the opposition today, to be honest with you. That bloke in Fabianski, again, he went to the goalkeeping school of wasting time. He was awful at wasting time from the get-go. And Oliver should have booked him early doors. Ref should book him early doors for this sort of thing. It's ridiculous, but there you go. Edison, a couple of straightforward saves, says Stuart, and had to be alert to the treacherous surface, but no alarm. So Stuart's given him a 6. I'll just give him the basic 6.5. He didn't have any chance with the goal, and considering the conditions and the lack of effort, lack of effort from West Ham in that putting him under pressure, it was okay. I'll give him a standard 6.5. Kyle Walker, Stuart said, ensured the Hammers counters weren't too dangerous and was always on the front foot. So he's given him a 7. Yeah, I'll give Walker a 7. I can't argue with what Stuart says. Solid stuff from Kyle Walker going forward as well. Ruben Diaz, solid and certain, even in tough conditions, says Stuart, and even protected the buck to Laporte in the second half. Yeah, had to work a bit harder, didn't he, today with his partner in crime there at the back. Stuart's given him an 8. I give him a 7.5. Again, not brilliant, no problems. He sort of was head and shoulders above everyone. I don't think West Ham caused too many problems, so I'll give him a good, steady, nice 7.5, an extra point on top of my average score anyway. Laporte, Stuart said Ferran Antonio and Benrahma a handful, made bad decisions. His booking made it tougher. It did. Stuart's only given him a 5. I think that's a bit harsh, but yeah, I can understand what Stuart's saying. I mean, Diaz did have to make up for him a little bit, and obviously playing the ball in those conditions, he didn't perhaps look as comfortable as a certain John Stones may have looked, but There you go. He got back in the team on that basis. Is he going to last long in it, or are we going to have Mr. Stonesy back? Let's hope so, eh? Oh, no offense to Laporte. He's a great player, but I just think Stones and Diaz is the number one partnership for me. So hopefully that'll be back together against Villa next week. Cancelo, a superb pass created Gundogan's goal, and he was City's main inspiration. Sorry, I got distracted by something on the screen. And through a inspiration throughout. Cancelo, Stewart's given him a 9. That's impressive. I mean, obviously, he's probably got, if I watch the game back, I might agree with him. I'm going to give him a 7.5, which is one of my highest scores. I just thought it was a little bit quieter on the link-up, and he didn't quite work out with Sterling, I don't think, down that side today. It wasn't the same working with Sterling that he has with other players. So, and I think Sterling was dropping back and perhaps not getting in his way, but then again, that pass that sort of led up to the first goal was excellent. So I'll give him a 7.5. I think Stewart's gone a bit over the top with the 9, but I don't know. Rodri cool and collected even when the surface was testing. His passing was too top class as well, says Stewart. So, yeah, he's given an 8. I can't disagree with that. I did, as opposed to Cancelo, which I didn't notice as much. I thought Rodri just stood out. He's a big lad. He just stand out, doesn't he? But he adapted very well. He even had his snowshoes on, didn't he? Imagine the size of his snowshoes he'd have to wear with his feet. It'd be enormous. Well, I'm sure he's got big feet. He's a big lad, but you never know. Ilkay Gundogan, says Stewart, right on the spot to break the deadlock, and then he ensured machine stayed well oiled. I'd give him an 8. I have given him an 8, but I thought until there was at least a couple of times I had a bit of an inner groan to myself about a couple of things he did in the first half. So, and I can't remember specifically what they were, and obviously they weren't on the match highlights because they weren't that significant. But I do remember groaning a couple of times. But that goal was superb, and I noticed after that he did sort of galvanised him to play a great role. And we know he steps up when KDB's not around, and fortunately seems to be doing that now. Bernardo Silva, Stewart says defensive work was exceptional. So many tackles, blocks and interceptions, and kept the ball brilliantly. So give him an 8. Yeah, I've given Bernardo. Again, he's another one I didn't notice too much. He certainly won't get 100% pass completion, I don't think, because I noticed him lose the ball a couple of times. So, but yeah, I'll give him a 7.5. He never stops, does he, Bernardo? How can you not give it? You've got to always give him something because he just never stops. He's a pain. There's one where he just comes away with the ball sometimes when you think he's going to lose it, so he is who he is, isn't he? Riyad Mahrez, Stewart said, looked much better when switched back to the right, setting up a Gundogan goal for the Gundogan goal. So he's given him a 7. Yeah, I give him a 7. I thought he faded a bit. I thought he played quite well first half. A few fluffed little attempts and that greedy thing where he should have really passed it rather than shot. But that's Mahrez. I mean, you have to accept that, I suppose. It doesn't matter if it goes in, but it's when it doesn't go in, isn't it? That's the thing. And he did score a good goal, didn't he? But obviously it was offside, but he took that well. So we'll give him a 7. I'm not going to mark him too bad, but yeah, I thought he faded just a little bit. Gabby Jesus is the first defender who never gave West Ham a moment and drove at the defence repeatedly. So Stewart's given him a 7. Not his greatest game today, I thought, but he was unlucky not to score, of course. And he got an assist, so he works his socks off, a bit like Bernardo for me. Even when it's not going great for him, he'll work his socks off. So yeah, I'll give him a 7, like Stewart give him a 7. Sterling more involved in the second half, and he was a constant threat down the left. I thought he was okay in the first half, to be honest with you. Stewart's given him a 7. I'll give him a 7. He's not back. I won't say he's back, but we've had 2 or 3 okay performances, haven't we? Or okay to good performances. So, hey, let's see. But I was quite happy with Raheem today. It was a bit more like the Raheem in the old days, but having not his greatest game, if you know what I mean. So he wasn't, so that's a compliment, Raheem. Believe me, I know you're listening to this vlog. Right, on to the subs. Yeah, Fernandinho, no time to mark, of course. He replaced Sterling 87 and sealed the win, says Stuart. He did seal the win. Obviously he didn't nearly give it away because he only scored 1, but yeah, he didn't do himself any favours at the backs. He won't be taking over Rodri's mantle anytime soon based on that anyway. With those 2 errors I noticed. Man of the match, yeah, I'm going to agree with Pep. I'm not going to do a City man of the match. I would be pushed to think, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously left to Stewart, he would probably give it Cancelo, wouldn't he? He got 9 out of 10. But I'm just going to give it the groundsman today. And the whole team adapted to the conditions superbly. And that second half, the groundsman did a wonderful job clearing the pitch, and we didn't have much snow falling in that second half. So it played really well, and we adapted very, very well as a team. So well done, the groundsman. I will echo Pep's sentiments. Overall record now reads we played West Ham at our place, at our gaff, 53 times. We won 37, drawn 5 and lost 11, scoring 111 goals and letting 64 in. So another one for the plus column there. And West Ham going forward, yeah, as I said, I wasn't overly impressed with West Ham today. I remember going to watch the Carabao Cup and they did play from a draw from the off. I honestly thought they were playing for a draw from the off with this one as well. All right, the conditions weren't great, but both teams had to cope with those conditions. And City certainly coped a lot better than West Ham did. We fizzed it about a lot better. Their pass accuracy, 79%. So I didn't see a top 4 team there, to be honest with you. They could still be tired. They were tired last week against Wolves. They all got a bit of a rest in midweek. A lot of them, that team today didn't play against in Austria on Thursday night, so they did get a rest. So that's not an excuse. I just wasn't overly impressed with them at all. I don't think they worked that hard. I think they worked okay, but I don't think they sort of went mad. I think they didn't. I don't think they like. I just don't think they like the weather. As a professional footballer, sometimes you're not up for it. They didn't seem up for it to me, to be honest with you. And it took a bit of a wonder goal to get them a consolation. To be honest with you, they didn't deserve anything out of that game. I think back to the game last February against West Ham where we beat them 2-1 as well. And to be honest with you, they were excellent that day. They were just as good as us. They could have probably nicked a draw, if not a victory that day. But today, City thoroughly deserved the win. And West Ham, just not that great for me today. So as I say, I would certainly think, top 4, possibly not. Top 6, could be, but I think if they can finish 7th or 8th in the league, I think they'll be happy this season based on what we saw today. Obviously, I've not been watching them week in, week out. I've watched them twice now this year, and I've not been impressed either time. But there you go. All credit to the football genius that is Mr. Moyes, I suppose. And City, yeah, given the conditions, from some fantastic play. I said, especially lead up to that half-time whistle, fantastic. Wonderful. It was got to be one of those days. I thought when we kicked off, they said we mentioned the bench, didn't I did mention the bench early on. We didn't have a lot of options. The squad's looking a little bit weak, guys, which seems a strange thing to say because we're supposed to have a massive squad, aren't we? But obviously we had McAtee and Palmer. It's possible to come on to actually, if it was 0-0, who did we have to change the game? There wasn't that much on the bench, obviously Zinchenko, but obviously, relying on Zinchenko. But we had 2 keepers on the bench as well. We had both Carson and Stefan. So, for a big squad, we've got players loaned out, of course, and obviously we've got to look after the EDS for their players. But yeah, it's looking a bit. I'll be glad. I'll be glad when we've got KDB, Foden, and Grealish back, and if Mr. Torres hasn't sodded off to Barcelona, I'll be glad when he's back. Or I might not be so glad if you believe the rumours anyway. But there you go. So yeah, I'll be happy when them 3 are back. I thought the squad looked a little bit threadbare. I hope they've all come out of this fit today. Hopefully Foden and Grealish and KDB will be over his COVID, but there's no guarantees of that for next Wednesday, is there? But let's hope so anyway. But as I say, some of the football today was sublime. Fortunately, we got a goal. Fortunately, West Ham never really looked like doing too much until actually they went 2 goals behind and then they scroped a consolation goal, a wonder goal, which can always happen. It can always happen in these games where it's tight, and that's the problem. The team can always score a goal from nothing. So, yeah, I think we'll be all right. But I'll be happier with 2 or 3 of the players coming back. If we do pick up another 2 or 3 injuries, I think we're struggling a bit, guys. That's the trouble. So we don't have striker options, do we? So, but if you get 3 or 4 of your midfielders injured, you are sort of relying on the same guys week in, week out then, which is a little bit of a worry with I have no idea. I have no idea how Chelsea have done. I don't know how they've done against United, to be honest with you. I'm recording this as a game. I think the game's still going on. Well, it's probably finished now, but I don't know. I just don't know what happened there anyway. But with Chelsea and Liverpool, of course. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, I'll be back, of course. The History Boys feature for the Aston Villa game is already out there, so please have a look at that. I enjoyed doing that. Obviously, it's looking back at a game in 1991, I think, off the top of my head, me and my memory. But yeah, it was Ron Atkinson's Villa against us, and I can't remember whose City it was then. My brain's gone. Peter Reid, that's it. Peter Reid's City against Villa. So check out the History Boy feature, and of course there'll be the Odd Show and the match preview coming up as well. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of today. Leave it in your comments what you thought of the match. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully it was okay. I've done all right. I've rushed this together. I've got a couple of things I need to do now, so I'll brush this together. So hopefully it was okay. You liked it. Thanks for watching, guys. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. To meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a flit across, please. Have a look at my film and TV channel as well. If you're interested in films and TV, I do reviews and information vlogs, etc. Have a look on there and give us a thumbs up as well today, and give us a thumbs up on film and TV if you can. I don't get as many on there as I do with the football, so that'll be fantastic. But if it's on there or back on here, back on the Citizen channel, I only ask one thing, don't I, guys? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.